Okay, let's look a little bit at romance. So this one is more on the sort of courtship side of things rather than the long-term relationship or the marriages, other videos on that. It's embodied. So when people talk about chemistry, what they're talking about is embodied polarity, the yin and the yang. So this is the first thing to realize is you have a type, gay, straight, whatever, there's a type. That type may well be, could be conditioned thing like blonde haired or your dad had a beard or whatever, right? But often it's more about this embodied polarity. So that's an important thing to realize in terms of who you're attracted to, who you're likely to be attracted to, and vice versa. Yeah, so you can better tune in to that chemistry. And often I feel like, even if I don't do anything about it, I'll feel it as a sort of livening up. You know, I'll be walking down the street and a beautiful sort of yin, watery woman will walk past and I'll just go, you know, I feel that alive in me. So some people have lost that, and disembodiment generally is very unsexy. Yeah, so I once went to a yoga festival. I got there on day one. It's mostly full of sort of stressed London people that come for this festival. It's outside London. And on day one, I looked around, okay, you know, people, fine, whatever. Day two, they were like more attractive. Day three, they were gorgeous. I thought, well, what happened? Well, 3 days of yoga had made these people relaxed. That's an important one, right? Stress isn't sexy. Yeah, made them relaxed, and it had made them in their bodies. And all of a sudden, there was just much more attractive people everywhere. You know, male, female, whatever. And it was like, wow, okay, embodiment makes people attractive, and then this polarity piece. So understanding that that is at work. I think another thing to understand is rhythms. So there's another video on rhythms. This is really important in courtship because if your rhythm is slightly off, and the classic is men being slightly faster than women, right? Not always, but that's a classic. If your rhythm is slightly off the other person, you'll be doing something which is just timed wrong, yeah? So there's like, do we have enough connection? That's embodied, right? Is there a felt sense of each other? Is there empathy? You know, that's connection. Okay, is there enough sizzle? So that's the alivening of the sexuality through the embodied polarity. So there's connection, there's sizzle, and there's also, is the time right? Okay, so it's like, you know, some people first date, both of them want to jump into bed. Fine, that's your decision, right? All consensual, whatever. Other people, they're going to need 10 dates. You know, I remember I dated one guy, I won't name her, but she's a good friend of mine now, actually, but we dated for years before we had sex. Years, literally on and off for years. That was just her rhythm. And I think she's like that with everyone, you know, I think that's what she tells me anyway. And she was just someone that needed like a really slow lead in. That might be, for some people, that's trauma-based. For some people, it's just how they are. You know, it's cultural for some. And that's okay, right? So I feel like being a bit tuned into someone else's rhythm can help us be more considerate in that kind of courtship type process. Yeah. So romance, there's loads more I can say. Look up the beauty black belt videos on YouTube if you want to know more about what are the factors that lead to attraction. So there's things like flow and openness on the inside that you can go into much more with the body, and things like status and authority. That's a massive one from the yang side. Clarity, purpose, you know, these are other ones we could go into.